Hi, I'm Sierra DeFreitas,
Hello, my name is Bradley Gray.
And Tanner Neslage.
and our presentation today is about haptic technology. So why do we need haptic technology? It overall brings a new immersive experience to devices, and it bridges the gap between digital environments and the human sense of touch. It's used in many different ways in many different industries and businesses. It overall improves the safety and precision in high-risk fields, and it helps to train employees and opens up new markets. So how haptic technology started, it was first seen in the World War II aircrafts. Initially, the systems were designed to stop vibrating when they were about to stall, but then they realized that this was actually beneficial for pilots, and they developed a feedback system that would simulate the vibration feedback that let them know when they were about to stall so that they could act accordingly. Um, in the 1960s, there was a vision replacement system, which was an array of metal rods that could be adjusted to create tactile dots, similar to a screen. In 1973, there was a tactile telephone. This was a touch-based communication device that two people used to talk through pressure and grip, and you basically respond based on how hard the person squeezes it. And then in 1975, there was the first patent for the tactile human machine communication system. And this was like a special 3D joystick device that let you feel the shape of a virtual object through a computer. And then our first looks at mainstream haptic technology was in 1978. Sega's motocross incorporated haptic feedback when the bike crashed or hit the rough in the road. Also in 1996, Motorola created the first phone with the vibrating feature. And then in 1997, Nintendo created the first video game controller with vibration features. So haptic feedback is when instructed by software, components deliver a precise, targeted series of vibration patterns to the user. It's designed to coincide with what the user is doing on the device and the functionality that they are interacting with. It is commonly found in phones and controllers. That's basically standard nowadays. And it can also be seen in cars, wearables, robotics, and medical equipment. So haptic feedback can also be known as kinesthetic communication or 3D touch, and this is the use of force, vibrations, or motions to provide feedback to users. And today it exists to enhance real life or virtual experiences with simulated tactile sensations. There are a few different types of haptic technology. So haptic technology can overall be described as the use of tactile sensations to stimulate the sense of touch in a user experience. So we first have force feedback, and this generates resistance or force when users interact with virtual objects, allowing for realistic simulations. This is seen in medical training simulators, robotic assisted surgeries, and automotive control systems. We also have vibrotactile. This relies on vibrations to simulate touch sensations, so like our mobile devices, gaming controllers, and wearables. We also have ultrasonic. This utilizes focused sound waves to create tactile sensations midair. This is interactive displays, augmented reality, and gesture-based controls. Electrotactile delivers controlled electronic pulses to the skin, and it stimulates nerve receptors to produce a sense of touch, and this would be used in prosthetic limbs and neurorehabilitation. The last one is thermal. This allows users to perceive temperature changes in digital environments by modulating heat and cold sensations. So this would be seen in virtual simulations, gaming, training modules, and sensory therapy applications. So there are three different systems of haptic technology. The first one is a graspable one, And this one creates kinesthetic feedback that informs our nerves, tendons, muscles, and joints. Examples of this would be joysticks, human-controlled robotics, and also the military uses it for bomb disposal situations, and astronauts use it in their robots to repair spacecrafts without having to leave their vessel. There are also wearables. These produce contact sensation by relying on tactile stimuli such as pressure, temperature, or vibration, which is controlled by the nerves of the user's skin. And this is commonly seen in VR products, rings, gloves, things like that. And then the last system are touchables. These are electronic devices with touchscreen capabilities, so like our phones, tablets, self-checkouts. Our screens respond to user movements, and there's even becoming a new field within this called haptography, where they imitate textures and movements so people can feel clothing materials before they buy them. So that's interesting.
So for wearable tech and smart devices include smartwatches and fitness bands, tactile notifications, heartbeat simulations, and vibrotactile alerts, haptic feedback, and accessibility devices. You also have healthcare and medical simulations, which allow doctors to practice difficult procedures in a risk-free virtual environment. Prosthetics let amputees experience a sense of tech and thus improve their quality of life. Then you have VR and augmented reality, which enhance immersive experiences, allowing users to feel virtual objects, sensory-rich experiences for gaming, training simulations, and remote collaboration, as well as military training, industrial prototyping, and interactive education. And then in the automotive industry, you have touch sensing dashboards, haptic steering wheels, seat vibration alerts, and all of these help the user focus and react quickly in situations where it's needed. Robotics and teleoperation, remote controlled robots with haptic feedback allow operators to perform delicate tasks with precision. You can do it in space exploration, hazardous environment navigation, and remote surgery. The entertainment and gaming industry evolved practices of gameplay for the user with haptic feedback. Do that through controllers with adaptive triggers, VR haptic suits, and motion sensing devices. Aviation, flight envelope protection systems use automation to modify flight controls so planes can continue to fly within safe, allowable limits. And then retail, interactive screens to help customers find stores, products, and purchase items. Self-checkouts are utilized pretty often and enhances user experiences when online shopping. How it relates to the five forces, bargaining power of buyers, enhanced user experience, increases the product value, it drives customer loyalty and engagement, and users become less price sensitive due to immersive quality. Threat of new entrants, high technical complexity and R&D costs create barriers. Existing players can hold patents and tech know-how. Early movers gain a market edge. Competitive rivalry, differentiation through unique haptic capabilities. Intensifies competition in wearables, gaming, and healthcare tech, and companies race to integrate better, more realistic haptics. Threat of substitutes, multisensory haptics provide a unique value not easily replicated. Alternative tech lacks the same depth and user expectations make switching harder. And then bargaining power of suppliers, strong demand for specialized sensors, components, and skilled labor. Limited suppliers for high performance haptic materials, and may influence production costs and innovation speed.
And some
And then some challenges. Some challenges that go along with haptic technology, complex replication, users being unable to adapt, integration with other technologies, limited by certain devices and their capabilities, and then a difference in preferences on a consumer-to-consumer basis.
Some benefits of haptic technology can include safety and accessibility, and this includes helps those with audio and visual impairments, enhances safety and precision. I don't know why that's just precision, but we're moving on to the next one. Enhance user experience can include things such as tactile elements in virtual environments, more realistic and satisfying interactions with devices, and contextual feedback. And lastly, we have competitive advantage. This includes things such as product differentiation, sorry, consumer appeal, enhanced brand perception, increased customer satisfaction, and customization options as well. Moving on, what does this mean for the future? So we're going to start off with the first point here, understanding earable multisensory haptics. This can include combined audio, touch haptics, and spatial awareness via wearable devices. Also, physical feedback in real time and real world experiences, and enhances digital immersion. For the second point, we have making virtual and augmented reality. This includes adds touch-based feedback to VR and AR games headsets. Metaverse environments enables more natural interactions and improves realism for training, gaming, simulations, and education. And for the last point here, we have smarter, safer driving. For the first point, hazard warnings and haptic alerts via wearable devices for navigation and hazard warnings. Accessibility can be enhanced for drivers with hearing impairments, and assistance with distraction with hands-free driving. What does this mean for the future? Part 2. We have revolutionizing healthcare support. Tactile feedback is supported, patient monitoring, and remote care. Telerobotic operations for surgeons to use haptic touch and assist visually/hearing impairments with spatial awareness cues. Next level user interfaces can include more intuitive control of wearables, home devices, and smartphones. It also provides haptic response, wearables that can detect gestures, and also enhances music, gaming, and fitness tech through immersion touch. Where it's all headed. Personalized immersion and interaction in daily life, expanding potential in entertainment, wellness, and accessibility, and bridges physical and multi-sensory tech and digital worlds. And for our conclusion of haptic technology, we have revolutionized through our sense of touch, stimulation through various different sensations such as vibrations, forces, or motions, and being utilized in many different fields in order to maximize engagement and keep up with market developments. And then here's our sources page. And thank you for listening.